Let's talk Eagles, Dan.
Okay.
Everyone wants to hear about what they're going to do. I usually get excited. I'm a little nervous what these guys are going to do this year.
I am too. Yeah, my worst fear is that they're going to trade a whole bunch of picks to move up and draft an offensive lineman. So
that
isn't very sexy. It's not very glamorous. So.
Okay, they got the 21st pick and the 28th pick via trade last year with Carolina when they did the same thing. One of these trade backs, trade ups.
That really came back to kind of bite them because they were hoping Carolina would give them a top 10 pick this year, and Carolina won 12-4. So that wasn't a very good move for them. So they wouldn't admit it, but I don't think it's a good move.
What do you think they're going to draft in those spots? What scenario do you think is going to take place?
Well, what they need the most of would be a running back. It's time to groom somebody to replace Westbrook. And also to team with him as a rookie year, so he doesn't have to carry the ball all the time. They do need an offensive tackle. They do need a tight end. Mm-hmm. They could also use a safety. So there's a lot of positions there that the Eagles could fulfill.
Okay, now what's the scenario that you like if you're an Eagles fan, let's say? You have a scenario here that you'd like to see play out. What do you want them to do?
I was practically born an Eagles fan. Too long that I would care to admit.
Yeah.
But I would like to see them trade that second pick, the 28th pick, with Buffalo to get Jason Peters, who's an all-pro tackle. He's disgruntled. They're having a hard time re-signing him, and he's on the market.
And the Eagles have money.
They have money.
Have
they have $30 million or something under the cap.
$40 million, yeah, sure.
So they have the money that they could easily handle that.
With the overall number of picks that they have and the depth of this draft and the cap space that they have, there's an opportunity here for them to do something pretty dramatic. I mean, I'm not predicting they're going to, but agreed, they could really make a move here.
They can make several moves that would really make the Eagles fans happy, but that's not what they typically do.
When was the last time they did that?
I can't remember.
The Peters move is interesting. He has 2 years left on his contract, but he wants to renegotiate. And like you said, the Eagles do have the space. If they could do that, I think it might have to be the 21st pick to make it more worthwhile to Buffalo.
If they would do that, then I would give it up.
Okay, and then what are they taking at 28?
28, then I would grab the running back. If no Sean Marino's not there, the best fit would be Donald Brown from Connecticut.
That's the
good receiver. Both of them are good all-around backs.
So ideally, you like Moreno as your top running back. I'm seeing on your depth chart here.
I do. Chris Wells, Beanie Wells could easily go to the New Orleans Saints, which would be a number 14. But I have the Saints drafting a quarterback, but they're also interested in Beanie Wells. He doesn't fit with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He's a big, fast, tough runner. I don't think he's caught a ball at Ohio State yet. So, but I'm just exaggerating.
Not a receiver, but
he's not the guy that fits Andy.
I'm always a little dubious about that. I mean, you can learn to catch passes, can't you? If you're an athlete like that. I'm not a huge fan of Beanie Wells, having seen him play in college, but I agree with you. I prefer Marino for sure.
Yes.
But it's a little strange to me that you think a guy can't catch a pass just because he never has. And I mean, I can catch a pass. I can't do any of this other stuff.
If you haven't called for all these years, you're going to start now. It's like teaching the old dog new tricks.
Exactly.
12 picks, though. You think these guys are going to be a mover and shaker on draft day, which is April 25th?
Yeah, they have 4 fifth-round picks that you just mentioned, and they really want to use those as leverage and ammunition to move up and wheel and deal, maybe move up in the second round. They do need a tight end. There's a lot of good tight ends in this draft. I really have them picking Brandon Pettigrew from Oklahoma State. Big, strong, great blocker. Doesn't have blazing speed, but he can get open, as he proved in college. And once he gets his hand on the ball, he's a horse.
The Eagles have never drafted a running back in the first round. In fact, the earliest they've ever drafted a running back is the third round. So I don't hold a lot of faith that they're going to do a running back in the first round, like you're saying.
I think this is the year they're going to break the mold.
Okay.
But watch them take both picks and trade them up for an offensive lineman. So who knows? It'll be interesting.
It always is.